From Lake Norman High School in Mooresville, North Carolina, it's high school lacrosse on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Tonight, the Lake Norman Wildcats host the Weddington Warriors. Hi everybody, I'm Paul Daugherty alongside Ray St. Peter. Looking forward to a great non-conference matchup tonight. Let's start with Weddington, off to the best start in school history at 9-0.
Weddington comes in tonight. They've done everything they've had to do. They had a schedule in front of them. They've whipped every opponent in their path. And tonight, they're going to see if they can make their mark on a championship run by taking out the Lake Norman Wildcats.
A lot of offensive weapons for Weddington, but our star to watch tonight, a junior, Hunter Fasanaro.
Hunter Fasanaro is an incredible lacrosse player. He likes to play from behind the cage, or what we call the X area. He can go to his left, he can go to his right, but most importantly, he's got the vision. He can draw that double team and deliver the ball to his teammates to make for some easy shots and scores.
Lake Norman, of course, has a state championship under their belts over the last couple of years. They're at 7-6, perhaps a bit of a surprise, but the toughest strength of schedule in the state of North Carolina.
Well, they've played everything that North Carolina has to offer, and they've also played some of the best teams in the nation. Lake Norman has lost 6 games, but don't be fooled. The teams they've lost to are among the elite. Tonight, they're going to try to push their way to that championship elite and see if they can make their run for another title.
And they're led by their defenseman, the senior Tucker Daugherty, doing a terrific job of shutting down opponents.
Tucker Daugherty is the glue that holds this defense together. If you're fast on attack, he's faster. If you're big on attack, he's just as big. And if you're nasty, he's got a nasty streak to go with you. Wherever Lake Norman goes, Tucker Daugherty is going to lead them there. And we'll see tonight if they can shut down Weddington's attack.
It should be a good one. And the face-off is next, right here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.
Tired of other local stations making you wait for breaking news? Why not get your breaking news as it happens with the only 24-hour local news?
This just in.
With Time Warner Cable News, you never have to wait. When news breaks, we go live and stay live, bringing you continuous updates as the story unfolds. And now, whether you're home or away, text and email alerts keep you connected 24 hours a day. So why wait? Get your breaking news when it's actually breaking 24/7, only on Time Warner Cable News.
If I got hurt and was laid up at home, I wouldn't even think to call a lawyer. What a hassle. I'd want to meet them first.
What if I told you that for your first consultation, your lawyer will come to you, home or hospital?
Really?
Really?
They do that?
If you've been seriously injured, we'll come visit you at your home or at the hospital. Whatever's the easiest and most convenient for you. Call the law offices of Michael A. DeMeo for a free consultation. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
Do you love soccer? Here we go! We've got soccer. The Carolina Railhawks are now on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. All the excitement of the North American Soccer League right in your own living room. Catch all the action. Rowdies, Railhawks, live Saturday at 7:30. On Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, the regional TV partner of the Carolina Railhawks. The biggest all-star event in sports just got bigger. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday night, May 21st. NASCAR's All-Stars leave it all on the track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Only one can take the title, and only one takes the $1 million. Plus, it all wraps up with platinum-selling recording artist Andy Grammer. The biggest music at the biggest all-star event in all of sports. Don't miss it. For tickets and details, call 800-455-FANS.
I believe in community.
I believe in entrepreneurship.
Small businesses, I believe.
Help weave people and communities together.
I believe in the American dream.
What's even better than dreams is making a dream come true.
SCORE is a nonprofit organization where we provide free business consulting services to people who want to start a business or already in business.
I believe one person can make a difference.
I am that person.
I am that person.
I am a SCORE mentor.
I am a SCORE volunteer.
What do you believe in?
You have a gift to share?
Small business owners need you.
To show them, to give them ideas, to encourage them.
I do what I do because watching other people succeed gives me great joy.
Our client success is our success.
It's like watching your children or grandchildren succeed.
Share your success.
Volunteer your expertise. You've got it. Share it.
Volunteer now at SCORE.org.
Volunteer your expertise
at SCORE.org.
And we'll welcome you back to Lake Norman High School here in Mooresville. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from Lake Norman, a gorgeous area of North Carolina. Not our first time here at Lake Norman High School. Let's take a look now at our keys to tonight's game. Great to have this big lacrosse matchup in the regular season, Ray. And looking at these two teams, start off with Weddington. Give us a flavor at 9-0, the best start in a long, long time.
Yeah, and they're undefeated, so you look at it and you go, wow. I mean, that's everything a coach can ask, but however, the quality competition, when I spoke with Coach Gunderson, he wished that the other teams had kind of been up and given a little better test. The other thing is they have some players that are out. They have several starters, and they're kind of bouncing back and forth. A lot of teams are this time of the year. And do they have the depth to fill that and still play the brand of lacrosse they want to play here today?
And, of course, Lake Norman needs no introduction. At state championship back in 2012. Their girls team won last year in 2015, so great tradition here at Lake Norman in lacrosse. And they not only have that championship experience, but this season they've got great experience against top teams.
Oh, yeah, they played, well, pretty much one of the number one teams in the nation out of Maryland. And then they played every top team here, east and west. So they haven't just played the top teams that are in this area, but all around. The question today is, can they keep that composure at home? Can they bring the same intensity when they play the number one team in the nation here tonight against Weddington? They have definitely tested, they've definitely been through it, but can they keep that level up and get up for Weddington today?
So just a couple of weeks from the end of the conference season, the regular season, and I think both teams can look forward to success in the conference championships and perhaps beyond. I think both teams planning to go deep into the postseason. So I think this might be a really good test tonight to see where these two teams are and where they need to be over the next couple of weeks.
Well, the reality is Lake Norman has always been the championship picture. They've always made runs. So the question is, they're 7-6. Everybody's wondering, is this another team that can make a run, or are they going to rebuild and reload for next year? They only played 2 games in conference. They've won both of their games. If you win your conference, you get to go to the playoffs. So Lake Norman has all the things ahead of them to be able to get to the playoffs. Weddington at 9-0, you look and you go, wow, they're doing great. They're going to make it to the playoffs too. However, how far will they go? They don't have the experience. They haven't been to the playoffs. They're building. They're wanting to be what Lake Norman is. And Lake Norman is a perennial championship favorite. Weddington is up and coming this year.
Eric Gunderson, in his 5th season, has his team off to their best start ever. And talking about part of that 9-0 run, one of the things you got to do is you got to beat the guys who beat you. And that's been Marvin Ridge over the last couple of years. Marvin Ridge, the Bugaboo, they've been the runner-up the last 2 seasons in the state championship. And obviously Weddington had trouble with them, losing, I think, 8 in a row before they won on their 9th try just a couple of weeks ago. Of course, that reversed things from earlier on in both programs' history, where Weddington was top of the marks. And for Lake Norman, Coach Brugger is in his 4th season, taking over the program. From just from strength to strength at Lake Norman, they've been great almost out of the box.
Yeah, they have a strong youth program here, so these kids play together from the time they're in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. They go on, they play middle school lacrosse together. They come up, they have a wonderful JV program, and then of course they have Coach Brugger taking them on to win state titles and helping them get into college and do all the things that they need to do from there.
And of course, the key to any game is the face-off. Weddington has done a wonderful job this season winning face-offs. Their freshman Whitner Litton, and he wins it again for Weddington to get things going. So you'll see Weddington working with the ball first in the green, or the black and the green trim, a little bit of white shorts, and of course Lake Norman in a midnight blue with the white jerseys. So Weddington working right to left, kind of feeling out the defense here. Ray, to start things off, what is the tendency for Weddington? They like to work behind the goal and look for cutters towards the crease.
Well, they try to see what they can get from X and see if they can make the defense react, see what they can get for slides and whether they can get push on the ball, whether they can get open lanes. They're going to see what Lake Norman wants to do when they get in a position of where they need to draw help. So far, they've been doing just fine, and we'll see what happens early going here.
And Dinwiddie gets it back there. You see Tucker Doherty, the long stick, defending and almost creating an opportunity there. And then a good job by Wyatt Dajal to get to the ball. He'll work it around. So Weddington being patient here trying to create some opportunities. Already you saw the skill that Doherty brings to it, his ability to keep scorers out of good position. But there's a shot on, and that is the first score of the night. Weddington gets their first score as James Shipley, the freshman, gets his 7th goal of the year.
Started out nice up high. He got that ball defense forced him to the left, which is what you want to do. And then you see here as he busts to his left, goes from his right, crosses over to his left on a nice split dodge, and then releases the shot from high down to low, which is really difficult for a goalie to save. Nothing that they could do there.
And we'll go back to the face-off X. Great job for Weddington to get the early start. Again, great success. Can even get their first possession here. So we look at Lytton working against Garcia.
Well, Lake Norman uses that long pole, which Garcia you see there. He's a long stick defenseman, but he's very adept at these face-offs. And having that long stick for any ground ball is great, so he did a clean win there.
You see the middies switching. And there's a look inside, coming right off the bench. The midfield substitution, and I believe it's Kaplis who comes right onto the field, gets his first touch and his first look and his first goal.
Well, on a switch here, you see he beat his man out of the field and comes right on. Nobody picks him up. You always want to shoot. One of the things you can tell by an experienced player or well-coached team is you want to shoot before the defense engages you. There's a little bit of a lane in between where the midfielders pick you up and the long sticks pick you up. And he shot that ball there, got it right past the goalie. So, right up.
10-20 to go, first quarter. Back to the face-off X we go.
Scooter Litton. He has a nickname. It's Scooter.
Well, it's good to have a nickname all 4 years. It looks like he's going to be a varsity player going from his freshman year.
If he keeps on winning face-offs, he's not leaving the field, and they can nickname him whatever he wants.
So Litton will actually trot off. You see Garcia will do the same. Their job is done. A 1-1 game, Lake Norman, the Wildcats working left to right.
This Lake Norman offense this year, I was talking to Coach Bruger, and it's much more patient than in years past. They're more likely to go for long possessions, look for that extra pass, and maintain possession of the ball instead of just kind of quickly running and gunning. It's not something that he's necessarily coached into the kids, but they've just become more methodical. Here you just see beautiful look down low, but a little bit low on the pass there, and gets down to the end line and turnover.
So Weddington trying to get a little tempo here. Shipley. Nice little run there from Zalquet. And there's a shot on just off the right side. Looks like it's handled off. Fasanaro with his first shot on goal.
He's not afraid to let it go. Check this out here. Good replay, right hand, boom, releases it, nice low shot.
So you gotta keep your wits about you here. Very, very quick tempo to this game. Weddington with a 2-1 lead.
Here you see they almost pretty much force it back to the right there. And before you know it, one drop, and there's Fasanaro this time finding the range.
So Fasanaro puts Weddington up by a goal.
Interesting matchup. We've seen each of these face-off guys now win one clean, and then we've had one kind of pickup ball. Let's see if one of these guys can figure out the strategy and dominate.
And it looked like, to me, Lytton did his job, but Packy wasn't able to run that ball down, so it'll be Weddington ball. Shipley. Something to see these freshmen playing such key roles on a 9-0 team.
Well, that comes a lot from injury. When you lose, starting players, then it causes other players to move up. So maybe a player that would have been a JV standout this year, well, now he's going to get called into duty and it accelerates his growth process. And now here he is out in front. And it's a good thing in some ways because it builds your program for the future. But in some ways, you can make players that younger players might mistake and might make more often.
So they'll work it around, work it back up top. And Shipley will settle in, work against Contrin. And another shot on goal finds the mark. Weddington now with a 2-goal advantage Cole Dinwiddie gets his first goal. That's 26 goals for the junior on the year.
Well, this one here is pretty nice passing. They dodge in, and then they see the defense come at him. You see Shipley here goes to his right, and then the slide comes, and they drop it right down, and he just knew what the defense was going to do, and immediately turned to his right and dropped that shot before anybody else could come to him. Good job by Dinwiddie there.
So 2-goal advantage, just over 8 minutes to go here, first quarter. Garcia working hard. Looks like Lake Norman is going to be able to control it here. And LeFew swings it.
Lake Norman
on the run.
Lake Norman does something unusual on the face-off. They bring 2 long poles up and bring a short pole back on defense. We'll see if we can catch that next time. But it's very unusual to do that. But LeFew is a ground ball machine, like a little Hoover out there. And he sucks up all the ground balls, so they try to bring him up to help out. And that worked out pretty good for him there.
Jake Sawicki dumps it in. They're working behind. On top, that's Kaplis. He's got a goal.
And here you see that patience.
Runs across. I think it'll be Weddington's ball. And Pfeiffer, the captain, running it out.
I talked to Coach Gunderson before the game, and he was a little worried about Lake Norman's ride. They ride really tough, and when they're going to transition up to offense, he was worried that they would have a hard time doing that. So far, they've done well. Let's see how they do this time here.
Good work by Garcia, the sophomore. And here comes Weddington. Chance to develop a little bit of pace here. D'Onofrio dumped it in. And I think James Berger will run that one. So it'll be Wildcats ball. They trail by 2. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
James Berger is Coach Berger's son that you see out there playing, and of course any dad's always proud to see their son playing.
And here's the keeper out to midfield. Shearer hands it to LeFew. LeFew looks inside.
Uncharacteristic of Lake Norman, they seem to be forcing shots that may or may not be there for them. Usually they'll wait and wait and wait, and this time they seem to be kind of forcing a little bit of the action early.
Goalkeeper Sargraves with a nice pass to Pfeiffer. Robbie Moore. So now it's Weddington's turn to be patient. Alex Helms, speedster. You cannot leave Fasanaro alone. He gets his second goal of the contest. Just a few minutes gone here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that time there you saw Tucker Doherty. He had him in a one-on-one situation, and then he kind of went down to help. See him point right there, 44, and now he heads down to help. And as soon as he leaves Fasanaro and turns his back, they find Fasanaro, and he's got that lightning shot to get in there.
So a timeout with just about 6 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Fasanaro with a pair of goals here in the first. He had 34 goals coming in. That's 36 goals. Just a junior, but we hear he may be on his way to Quinnipiac. And got a couple of pretty top-level recruits, at least coming along for Lake Norman. A sophomore, Matt Elder, who we'll probably see a lot more of perhaps on his way to Hofstra. I don't know how definite that is at this point, Ray, but a lot of conversation about these teams and their ability to develop players that can go on to the next level.
Yeah, a lot of these players from both these, from Lake Norman traditionally, and now from Weddington, as they're starting to get better, they're getting players that are getting noticed. Here you see great split dodge, and then you look, he waits for Tucker to come down, and as soon as Tucker comes down, Fasanaro is open, and that's a great angle for a right-handed shot. When you're up in that area, what we like to call the scoring fan, if you extend the angle of the goal out, it's a great place to be, but he put that right in. But Lake Norman has, sent a lot of players on to college, and Weddington is getting them. I talked to Coach Gunderson, and a lot of times I don't want to feel like I'm talking bad about Weddington, that they're not there yet. They are here, but Coach Gunderson had a 5-year plan, when I talked to him earlier, he said, I'm in year 5. He had said that in 5 years he would take this team to the state title boldly. And now he's on track. So he's doing what he said he was going to do. Their athletes are starting to get noticed and going on to find more opportunities to play at the next level.
And Lake Norman trying to, I think, maybe hurry some things there is Jake Sawicki, who's got 11 goals coming in. Fires that one. Weddington now can get down the field quickly. Looking for the double team now. Some space. Shot is up and in. So Weddington getting some momentum as Wyatt Dazio gets his 21st goal of the year, his first tonight. And the hits are piling up for Weddington, although this is a game of runs. And certainly by no means the way this has started is the way this is going to end. But Weddington right now having it their way.
Yeah, it was an awesome camera shot right there, by the way. You see Shipley come down that same split dodge, kind of going at one guy, or a crossover in basketball. It's the same thing across a split dodge. And once he draws another player, he finds the open man. That time happened to be Dazzler.
And Garcia is able to win the draw. Here comes Lake Norman.
Nothing's crucial at this point, but Lake Norman really wants to try to get something positive here. You really want to see a nice possession where you get a good shot. Hopefully a goal. There's a flag down right now, which would be a man up for them as well.
Sawicki tries to wrap it around, looks for help, and now you hear the whistle to stop play. So we can expect a man-up situation coming up here. A look at Jack Sargraves.
I talked to Coach Gunderson about Sargraves, and he said that he was a really good goaltender last year, but over the summer he focused a lot on his conditioning. And he said the young man kind of leaned out a little bit, dropped a few extra pounds, and really this year he's everything he was last year, except for quicker and better with the ball. There's Coach Gunderson talking to the referee there. We might have misidentified him earlier, but he's over there in the khaki shorts. But he was talking about how Sargraves did a great job in just the physical conditioning and understanding that you have to be in great physical condition to be able to play this game too.
Works right in front. Garcia can't really pull the trigger. Or excuse me, was that Garcia? We'll check that.
You see that drop right down, and he wasn't even expecting the pass. Had he been, he might have done pretty well.
And you hear the roar as Lake Norman will win this out.
There's Blake Lecky there, number 39.
Lecky just a sophomore, 16 goals coming into tonight.
He's been a pleasant surprise with Coach Gruger in helping this team to generate some offense.
Werner working across the field. Dodging for Max Baeza. Looks for a cutter. Now they can reset. And Kaplis mishandles the ball.
Kaplis does a great job of keeping his head up. Stick always moving. Keeps his feet underneath him so he can change directions. Very important. You don't lean too much in lacrosse. You always want to keep your feet underneath you so you can swap direction.
And Baeza lets one fly. That one just a little bit wide. And Weddington will run it out and try to retake the momentum. Lake Norman with a nice little attack there, but couldn't come up with a goal. They trail 5-1, just over 3 minutes left to go in the first.
Baeza there just took a few too many steps. He kind of had a really nice angle, nice lane, and just one or two more steps, and was kind of destroying the angle as he went up.
Looking for the man, and he's able to dump it in open. Another shot on. That was Dinwiddie. Wasn't able to win that one, but And Weddington is putting some consistent pressure on Lake Norman's defense right now.
They're able to get the first guy through. So in a one-on-one matchup, the first guy is able to beat his man, which causes the defense to then react. When the defense reacts, it leaves somebody else open behind them, and everybody has to cover and cover and cover. So you're kind of caught in a position where you're always recovering and never actually handling what you need to handle.
Fasanaro working against Doherty. That one's wide.
You see Tucker did a great job there, staying on the right hand, forcing him not to be able to shoot at the worst angle possible where Fish could come up and make a save.
Shipley. Fasanaro. That was dangerous. Weddington almost had a great opportunity. Rather Dinwiddie getting free for a moment, but they can't handle it. Lake Norman now can swing back into action as Shimmer once again is going to bring it all the way out. And a high pass. That's Burns who cuts it off. Burns still on the run with it. Looks inside. Now there's nobody up top for Weddington. Elder chases it down for Lake Norman. Tries to spin by Papke.
Elder's really slick with the ball, very, very fast, and always keeps the ball just out of your reach. You think you can get it, and then boom.
Elder gets free and bounces one in. His first goal of the evening. 11 goals on the year for the sophomore.
Yeah, you see him there pretty much from dead top, and he's just kind of strolling to his right. Then a burst of speed right there, boom. And he sees he's got the lane, and he pulls down hard. So again, it's from top high to down low, and you get the goalie. When you're going from your right to left, the goalie starts to sway that way. You shoot the other way, the goalie's out of position. Beautiful shot, man.
We've had some great battles at the face-off X. A couple clean wins for Lake Norman. Let's see if Litton can get one clean here for Weddington. And he doesn't.
You get away real clean.
Tries to dump it in, finds his man.
It's a great save right there. He did, Fish is standing there watching the face-off, and before he knows it, he's got a guy point blank in his face and got a deflection on him.
Robbie Moore sends it up top, Zalaquit right side. Garcia defending. Burns sends it back up top. Again, Weddington, they can be patient. And a long throw. Long pass gets loose. It'll be Lake Norman's ball with just under a minute to go in the first quarter.
There's Coach Brugger having a good time. He's a pretty small guy, like when you see him, but really loud. And a lot of fun, a great sense of wry humor. But he loves these boys, and he's coached these guys here for 4 or 5 years now. So he's known a lot of them a long time, and he really, both these coaches, you can tell they have a lot of fun with the kids. That's really good to see.
Sawicki dodges by, about 28 seconds left to go. Great stick handling, a high pass. Werner's able to cut it down. Now you see a flag with about 18 seconds left to go first quarter.
So you got 17 seconds left. If you're Lake Norman, do you look to hold it in the box and avoid a face-off and start the next quarter with it? Or do you look to try to get the shot now? You're down 5-2. I'm thinking I want the ball. I want no face-off. If you get the wide open shot, pull the trigger. But if not, let's hang on to it. I want both. I want the precise shot and I want the ball. I want it all and I want it now.
You hear the whistle. Clock starts. Under 15 seconds to go now in the first quarter. So Lake Norman holding under 10 seconds. Under 5 now. Looks like they're just going to run it out. And we'll have the ball to start the second quarter. Lake Norman trailing by 3. Weddington with some nice momentum and a quick start to the game, leading it 5-2.
Do you love soccer? We've got soccer. The Carolina Railhawks are now on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. All the excitement of the North American Soccer League right in your own living room. Catch all the action. Rowdies, Railhawks, live Saturday at 7:30. On Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, the regional TV partner of the Carolina Railhawks.
The biggest all-star event in sports just got bigger. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday night, May 21st. NASCAR's All-Stars leave it all on the track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Only one can take the title, and only one takes the $1 million. Plus, it all revs up with platinum-selling recording artist Andy Grammer. The biggest music at the biggest all-star event in all of sports. Don't miss it. For tickets and details, call 800-455-FANS.
The Carolina Panthers are preparing for another great year. And Time Warner Cable Sports Channel continues our exclusive coverage of the team, even in the offseason. Stay tuned each Wednesday night as we go inside Panthers football. We'll have updates on the team leading up to training camp, preseason, and kickoff. That's each Wednesday, only on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, the cable television home of your Carolina Panthers. Tune in to Channel 323.
Have you ever wondered how sound works? With STEM to Story, a new book of science and writing activities, you'll get to discover the science behind sound and music. You'll learn about pitch and volume. Then you'll get to explore how sound works scientifically. You'll even get to see sound waves right in front of you. You'll build your own instruments using things you can find around your house. Then have a concert, jam time. Tell your parents and teachers about the new STEM to Story book from 826 National, now available online at wiley.com.
He's a smart boy, and he's going to be okay.
Okay, try to calm him down.
There's no reception. Everything's down.
Try already.
It's working.
Well, just try.
Everything's down.
Okay, he's on his way. Please. Is he okay?
Laura,
Please tell me he's okay.
I need you to calm down.
What? It's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
As we get the second quarter underway, Lake Norman gets started. And that shot gets by, but Lake Norman is able to hold on to possession. Ryan Werner, the junior, swings it around. Teams have switched sides, of course. Lake Norman now working right to left.
That was a laser, too. I mean, Capital's got that ball, and it was a laser. He knows he's in the right spot. He knows what he's supposed to do, and just catches it, pulls the trigger.
And working for Max. Look at that. The runner sneaks by and nearly puts it on target. Heredia, the senior, looking for his 6th goal of the year. Snuck by, got about half a body by the defender, but couldn't put it on target.
Yeah, and then to make matters worse, he touched the line to get the crease to turn it over.
It's a Weddington ball. Dinwiddie, who had a goal in the first quarter. Sheepley now sends it up top. Alex Helms.
Gunderson said Helms is one of the fastest players he's ever seen, so we'll see how how Lake Norman can match up with speed.
He's the assist leader, and he's got at least one in the first quarter. Again, you see the ability of Lake Norman defense to put their goalkeeper in the best possible position. You don't see Schemer having to stare down a lot of blistering shots. So the defenders are doing a pretty good job, at least, of making it difficult right now in Weddington.
Well, they're trying to hold them off. You always want a player to shoot with their weaker hand. You always want to shoot at the worst angle possible. Lake Norman's fundamentally sound. They're going to make errors, but they're not going to be fundamental errors. And the other thing you're seeing is Schemer. They call him Fish. So he is doing a good job now outletting the ball, so they're not having a hard time on the clear. So that's two things that help Lake Norman. The hard part has been getting some offense.
Kaplis, who had a goal in the first, bounces one in, gets his second goal. So Kaplis now with his 22nd goal, gets his second, and Lake Norman continues to creep back into this. They trail by 2 goals.
Well, you've got Kaplis moving from right to left, and then you've got 2 other Lake Norman players moving from left to right to screen the goalie. So you see here he's moving from right to left, and then you see the other players down there, that big hodgepodge. Whenever you have your players moving, they of course have defensive players moving, and that's all screened for the goalie. So Brugger's liking that they're coming back up now. And back to the equalizer.
Wow, that all-important face-off.
One of the things that makes lacrosse so unique is you can just continually go on a roll, and you don't have to let the other team play offense.
And Litton nearly gets it clean. Lake Norman doing a better job of hustling for it. You could say they wanted it more in front of this home crowd.
There's a certain amount of the scrappiness factor that goes into lacrosse and face-offs. You definitely want to have that nose for the ball, or something you hear coaches say. Whenever there's a ground ball, they see that kid, that one who's right there getting dirty, going after it.
Elder handling it for Lake Norman. Dodges by one defender and lets it fly right on target. But a nice job by Sargraves to deflect it. Weddington with a chance. And look at that, a little no-look pass there, right? And good defense as Fasanaro is stripped of the ball.
I think he hit the post on that one. If he get a shot of that, I think he went by Sargraves because he turned around and I think it bounced almost right around him.
Okay.
That was a nice little shot by Elder. Coaches are always a big fan of the behind-the-back pass or the behind-the-back shot when you score. It's on target.
Right.
When it hits the ground, it's you know, don't try that garbage. Keep that stuff at home.
Great look inside. Heredia fighting. Werner the junior. And Elder. Picked up by Papke. Sawicki looking to pick up a double team, and he dumps it in front. And guess who's there? Blake Leckie for his first goal. And the sophomore has 17 on the year.
That was a really nice dodge. And Leckie timed his run just right. You see the dodge here, boom, boom, and he goes to his right, and as soon as you see the head up, he's looking, he knows what he's looking for, and Leckie just kind of, in one motion, quick sticks it. He catches it and delivers it into the net at the same time. Nice shot by Leckie.
So Lake Norman fighting right back, trail by a goal, just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. Brandon Garcia, the sophomore, 70 face-off wins coming in. Litton, the freshman, over 100. Nice spin move, and we see a flag come up as Fasanaro gets that one by the goalkeeper.
I don't know if that caught a piece of Fisher as it went through or if he's just that upset. I'm not sure. Right there in front, and then he turns and drops it down low, and Fish went right through there. And a double up on Lake Norman's paying. They're going to serve a penalty as well and put Weddington man up.
So the goal counts. A hat trick now for Fasanaro, our star to watch for Weddington.
Makes this face-off very important, especially Garcia now. He has one less helper because you have someone in the box. He has one less person to help him get that ground ball. So a lot of times they'll press to try to win it cleaner. And here Weddington comes up with it.
Freshman Papke shoots it across for the freshman Shipley. And now for Weddington, it's about spacing and looking for the best opportunity to score. They can take their time. They've got a 2-goal lead here in the first half.
Well, anytime you're man up on offense, two things will get you scoring opportunities. One is spacing, which you see the spacing of the players here. You've got 5 equally spaced outside, and then ball movement. So as long as the ball moves, it forces that little wheel on the inside of those Lake Norman players in white to continue to adjust, and eventually somebody gets an angle. So that's what you're trying to do. If you're on the offense, you're trying to work it around there as fast as you can to force that little wheel on the inside of those 5 players in the star to rotate, and you try to get one of them out of position.
Back to Burns. This time he sends it up top. They whip it around to X. And trying to just scoop it in. It's Fastanaro, but
he's really creative around the goal. I don't know if I'd advise those shots, but they're going in. And, I mean, he's the one out there scoring goals. I'm up here watching him. But some of them are really unorthodox, but they go towards the cage, and that's all that matters. Shipley's been able to get by his man pretty regularly. Their offense running through him has been working pretty good.
Helms shows his speed, looks for an open man. Nice dodge.
You've got called for a ward there, which is when you're playing offense, you have to keep one hand on your stick. You're allowed to use your other hand, but what you're not allowed to do is to contact a defenseman and adjust them using your hands. So you can't grab, you can't push with that off hand. You can lock it in position, but you can't push. There goes Fish. Oh, he's going right up.
All the way. Drops it almost to the end line. Cody. Looking for the offense to set up here.
And Fish is saying, please hold it for a minute, because he's got to make that
All the way
long,
back.
that's a long, lonely run if you're a goaltender, especially if you lost the ball at the other end. It's very lonely.
Porter sends it behind, and Cody.
You see Weddington's made an adjustment here. You can see these players in the screen, but you're looking to see on Elder number 2 has a player locked on him wherever he is now. So they're basically playing 5-on-5, and Elder is locked on with one player. And Weddington is saying, we don't think you can beat us with 5 players.
Mitch Steiner had a pretty nice shot on, but Sargraves was right there, made the save. Pressure, Lake Norman gets a turnover.
Coach Gunderson was worried about the ride and that Lake Norman can ride well, and how his team would respond to that.
Great battle. Ryan Warner is rewarded for the effort. Ground ball. Instead of an opportunity, Weddington can fight back to it. Looks like it'll be Lake Norman's ball. No, in fact, it is Weddington's ball. So 2-goal advantage for the Warriors. 9-0 on the season. Lake Norman 7-6. This is a non-conference matchup. We're here at Lake Norman High School in Mooresville. And after some rough weather today, absolutely perfect evening.
Beautiful weather by the lake. Great day for a cookout.
Or lacrosse, or both.
Yeah.
No cookouts here, I don't think. If we find one, we'll let you know.
I don't live but a couple miles. Come on over.
All right.
We'll cook something.
All right. That's right. It's home field advantage for you, right?
It is. My son attends here, and Lake Norman's our community. We moved here about a year ago, and we love it here from the Raleigh area.
Just under 4 minutes to go here, first half. Weddington trying to attack.
Wow. He was open, had the lane and everything, and just Fastanero's got a really unorthodox shot. That delivery comes from about knee-high. Makes it difficult to catch.
And does a wonderful job dumping it over the top of the crease. Dashel just couldn't sneak by his defenseman. Doherty doing a nice job defensively. Dashel was there, but just couldn't couldn't get a clean shot on.
And there, Weddington kind of pushing the action a little bit. One of the cardinal rules when you have a shooter in front is you want to have somebody in behind. And so when the ball goes out of bounds, you can contain it. They didn't wait for that there. You got a little impatient and then turned it over on the shot.
A few brought it out. Now he drifts back. Matt Elder will handle for Lake Norman as they get their personnel in position. Baeza working to his right. Dodges by Hapke and lets it fly just wide of the net.
That time there we see Elder going from his right to his left and then releasing the shot left-handed. When you can release a shot with good velocity with your right hand or your left hand, that makes you a good player. When you can release a shot with your left hand and your right hand, that makes you a half-stroke commit.
That's right. And of course, Cody was there to back it up so Lake Norman can continue the attack. Just about 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first half. We're behind by as many as 4 goals. Trail by 2, 6-4. Steiner, the senior. Dodges left, stops, fires. It's right on. And Sargraves is there once again.
And good outlet by Steiner, so now they're transferring over to offense quickly. The best way to avoid a team's ride is to get a quick clear before they can set it up, kind of like the out-of-bounds playing basketball after a made or missed free throw. If you can get it down there real fast, they don't get a chance. You don't have to worry so much about it because they don't get that set opportunity to trap you in the corners or catch you off balance.
So it looks like we'll get a timeout. Was able to catch Ray who called it, but we'll take a quick break. I believe Weddington calling timeout. They lead it 6-4 on the road here at Lake Norman. Again, at 9-0 on the season. Weddington with a win over Marvin Ridge a couple weeks ago. You know, they've got to feel good. You mentioned the 5-year plan. They're in that 5th year. So they've taken on some teams. They've shown that they can beat some top 20 competition. Now they've got Lake Norman, a team that, according to, well, you've got to look at a couple of different groups. But we look at Max Preps, Lax Power right now. Lake Norman, number 13, according to Max Preps, 23, according to Lax Power. That could change quickly, I think, for Lake Norman. A win over Weddington, I think, moves them up perhaps a little bit more than a win for Weddington tonight. Just a conjecture on my part. But Weddington has been explosive offensively. They've been stingy defensively. And right now they're showing that regardless of the quality of competition, they can play their game.
Well, they've been able to do what they do. The issue that we've seen is both these teams have made a lot of unforced errors. We've seen in the transfer game from offense to defense and back, we've seen some errors. We've seen some shots where they didn't have backup in place. We've seen passing that hasn't been as crisp as it ought to be. So as we watch this game go, what's going to separate is whichever team can buckle down and can eliminate the errors, and then not only that, but adjust to what the other teams are trying to do. So right now we've seen a nice little battle here. We've seen a little bit of, this is like the pushing and shoving at the beginning of Rocky. We haven't seen any roundhouse rights yet. That'll come after halftime. So if you're Weddington right here, around a little bit, let's get a quality shot. Worst case scenario, we want to be ahead 6-4.
Or you get a quick opportunity, and Alex Helms using his speed gets a quick goal, perhaps surprising Lake Norman's defense, but it goes over the top, and Weddington able to keep it back in can reset their offense. Burns handling it. Strip to the ball, take away for Lake Norman. A chance now for them to swing back over. So Schemer.
And then me as a coach, proving why I'm coaching and not why I'm broadcasting and not coaching. I'm more conservative. I would have played a little bit and eat up some clock and try to get that one good shot. But this is all about knowing your athletes, knowing your team, knowing what they're good at, knowing what they can handle. And Coach Gunderson released the hounds there and let them go have one.
Well, Weddington helped out a little bit there by a poor clear, so Weddington's got the ball. Alex Helms, guarded by Garcia. Picks up the double. Shipley with a great pass to Burns. Burns sees the opportunity, seizes it. He gets his first goal of the night, his 8th of the year, the sophomore on the board, and Weddington leads it once again by 3 goals, 7-4.
Well, we've seen Shipley be able to dodge, being able to create space using only his feet left and right. So you see here on this one, he creates the space left, cuts back to his right, and when he does, he creates this perfect lane to Burns, who's planted on the other side of the field, causes the defense to then have to adjust to the movement, and it gave Burns a clean look, and he got it by Fish.
And Shipley with a couple of big points tonight. The first goal of the game, putting Weddington up 1-0, and a big assist there to give him a 3-goal advantage once again. Litton, the freshman, just I think needed a little help there as he wasn't able to deal with that double team. Lake Norman now quickly down. Werner looking towards Cody. Cody couldn't handle it.
There's another one of those unforced errors, though. You know, you're on a break like that, you're coming up, you're clean, you're open. That's a pass that you have to make to the sweet spot. And there again, on the clear, you see the same thing for Weddington. They're making mistakes that an INO team doesn't make these. A playoff championship team doesn't make these mistakes, and these are the things that have to be eliminated.
Under 30 seconds to go, first half. Lake Norman with an opportunity here. Time to be patient if they wish. Cody tries to sneak one by. And I think Lake Norman now will control. So Weddington, I think, lost a chance to come clean with that ball. Lake Norman with another opportunity, and let's see, Lake Norman can run it out. So it'll be Wildcats ball with just under 6 seconds to go. We've got a timeout.
Neat little play. So you got a timeout by Coach Bruger. So these are the ones that you work on in practice. These are the set alley-oop dunks from the corner, or the, you know, we saw Villanova make that great play to rip out the heart of all UNC fans worldwide. But, you know, you got that play that you designed for something just like this. So what's kind of cool about this is it's a reveal play in my estimation, where this is where Coach Bruger is going to give the ball to the 2 or 3 players that he trusts most with the ball, and he's going to try to get his best shooter with a shot. So my odds are, you see number 2 right there. That's a pretty safe bet. Elder will be touching the ball. My other option would be number 39, Lucky. We've seen them both do some magic things. And then don't be surprised if Jake Hogan doesn't get a look at this ball as well. He's kind of a good off-ball player. And he may be a recipient of somebody driving to the cage. But it's going to be quick. 1 drive, 1 pass, 1 shot.
Has to be just under 6 seconds left to go. Lecky and Elder both have goals in the first half. Hogan looking for his first of the evening. So there's a look at Matt Elder, the sophomore.
Lecky is out there. And Kaplis is out there. We saw that Kaplis blast earlier. He can shoot the ball. And if we're talking about Lake Norman with some familiarity, there's a reason for it. We've seen these players in championships past. So they've been in the championship game 3 times in the last 5 years.
And that one, I think it's just going to get loose. Kaplis is going to run out of time. He touches it, can't handle it, and we're going to go to the halftime break with Weddington leading Lake Norman on the road by a score of 7-4. We'll step aside. When we come back, it'll be the 3rd quarter of action here from Mooresville.
When it comes to weather, you can find everything you need in the palm of your hand using the Time Warner Cable News app. Just log in using your TWC ID and you'll have full access. Scroll on the weather wheel for hour-by-hour conditions. and use our interactive radar for detailed street-level views. Wherever and whenever you need it. The Time Warner Cable News app, available for iPhone and Android.
The biggest all-star event in sports just got bigger. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday night, May 21st. NASCAR's All-Stars leave it all on the track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Only one can take the title, and only one takes the $1 million. Plus, it all revs up with platinum-selling recording artist Andy Grammer. The biggest music at the biggest all-star event in all of sports. Don't miss it. For tickets and details, call 800-455-FANS.
In the ever-changing world of North Carolina politics, only one show gives you the most reliable political coverage in the state. Capital Tonight.
It's been a tension-filled week and a half for the nation's new Attorney General.
And for the best source for state politics on the web, go to TWCnews.com and click on Politics. Interviews, analysis, and news you need to make important decisions about local issues. Capital Tonight, only from Time Warner Cable News.
Science and math are a blast with It Ain't Rocket Science, the program that brings you great reports about all things science, technology, engineering, and math from around the country. We'll take you to museums and robotics competitions. Meet influential people in science and technology. Parents and kids alike get introduced to some great opportunities, events, and careers. It Ain't Rocket Science. Find this program on your local on-demand channel in the Travel and Lifestyle section under Not Rocket Science.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
And we welcome you back to Lake Norman High School, where the Wildcats trail the Weddington Warriors. The score is 7-4 as we start the third quarter. Let's take a quick look at some highlights from the first half. Ray, you and I talked at the halftime break. The play a little sloppy at times, but we have seen flashes of championship level play. There's a look at Matt Elder with his goal in the game tonight as he bounces that one by Sargraves. So Lake Norman doing a nice job, creating some mismatches, some good passing in front of the crease, and making things difficult for Sargraves. Lake Norman staying in the game, and Weddington with the quick lead to start things off, and then an answer every time Lake Norman began to build some momentum.
Well, here it's going to be about who eliminates the errors. There are unforced errors that are going on here, and those are the ones that need to be eliminated. If you're Lake Norman and you eliminate 3 or 4 of those, that adds 3 or 4 possessions to you, but it also takes away 3 or 4 for Weddington, and that can be the difference. If you're Weddington, it's the same thing in reverse.
Well, how about that? A quick score for Jake Sawicki, the senior, with his first goal tonight. He has 12 goals on the year. He's taken a couple of shots on goal. He's been off target. That time, I think he caught the defense napping and dodged to his right, made the most of an opportunity.
Well, he's got a really nice right-hand shot, so he's been unable to free the right hand up. There you see. So when you're a right-hand shooter, you've got to be able to get your hands free, not the edge of the stick, not your elbows, but your hands. When your hands are free, it allows you to put that motion on it, and that time there, he could get his hands out into some space and find a nice lane and pull it.
Litton, once again, doing a nice job initially. But Lake Norman has had a couple of takeaways in these situations. The flag is down on the field as Weddington almost loses the ball at midfield.
A little bit of slash action, I think, there for Lake Norman. So it'll set Weddington up to, obviously try to get the 3-goal lead back. momentum killer because you just come out, if you're Lake Norman, you win the face-off, you come down, you snap off that quick goal, your crowd is charged, the announcer's going wild, everybody's nuts, and now all of a sudden you're man down, and for the next 30 seconds, you're going to hope that your defense can maintain hold and not give up a goal.
Weddington led by as many as 4 goals, 5-1 early in the first. Lake Norman has been kind of chipping away ever since. They get a quick goal to start the second half. Weddington, as you say, man up here with a chance to widen this lead once again to 3, but an unforced error. It looks like they're going to lose the handle completely, and it'll be Lake Norman ball. So a tough break for Weddington. Obviously a chance for Lake Norman to bust up this man-down deficit.
Well, kill it off that penalty, and now you can work some offense and get your teams back to even strength. But again, instead of Weddington being on the other end of the field with an extra man advantage and popping off a shot and potentially a goal, now they're not because of unforced error. And then on the other side, you see Lake Norman throw it away again. There's no one around, and this is not typical of either of these teams.
This is Ricky, who scored just a moment ago. Throws it away, and it's Weddington ball. Clock running, third quarter.
There's still some time left on that penalty as well. So you see the Lake Norman set up in their man down, 5 men out there in a nice little wheel pattern. Or a star, depends on your perspective.
Dazzle gets it back, loses it. Great job by Garcia, the sophomore, to poke it away. Doherty on the run with it. The long stick will get into the offensive end of the field. And a shot on.
Great job by Tucker Doherty. So he gets the ball down on one end of the field, outruns everybody to the other end, and as he pulls into the box, he delays slightly to allow one of the defenders to come to him. As soon as the defender comes to him, he sees where it is. You'll see him here. Grabs the ball first try, sprints up the field, nice little roll dodge there, and then it's just gas pedal. As he pulls up here, you'll see he slows down to draw that green player, and then that opens the lane for his teammate. Bounce shot, and that right there is a huge momentum lift. Not only did they not give up a goal, but they're now 1 goal closer.
Well, you talk about in basketball, the defense sparking the fast break. What a job by Garcia. Posts the ball away, gets the takeaway. Doherty brings it down the length of the field, gets just his 2nd assist of the season, and Garcia gets the first goal tonight and his 3rd goal of the year. And sometimes it's the guys that don't show up as much on the stat sheet that have to win it for you in tight games. It's a 1 goal game here as Lake Norman is showing some momentum here in the second half.
Well, now can we eliminate the errors? You know, we've seen Lake Norman turn it over once. We've seen Weddington, a couple errors on their side. Who can stop, with the errors? Now, there's forced errors when you're being checked or somebody's in your business. That's one thing. But here we're seeing Lake Norman just work that patient offense.
Warren doing a nice job defensively. Cody up top as Lake Norman changes personnel. Lecky tries to dump it down. Steiner. Good hustle.
They're working it around. They're being patient. They've got motion in their offense. They've got spacing. They're waiting for a mistake.
And Kaplis tries to bounce one by the keeper.
That was a great play there on the end line with the Lake Norman player boxing up the Weddington player so he can stand right on the end line. So as the ball goes out, he was right there.
So Lake Norman once again will run it out. This time it's Steiner's there.
Tough angle on that shot there. Might have forced that one, but because they're in good position, they get the ball on the end line. In lacrosse, again, a reminder for our new people who might be watching this, it's closest to the end line, not who touched it last, like it might be in other sports. It's who's closest to the end line when the ball goes out of bounds.
Blake Lecky, sophomore.
Name a lot tonight. He's got that nose for the ball type of thing you like to see.
Kaplis has it poked away. Lake Norman can stay on the attack. That's Ryan Werner. Junior dodges left. And Werner couldn't control. Great hustle by Weddington. Nice hustle play, and I think the Warriors now can control.
It's a great job of just wanting the ball more, sprinting all the way through. Warner thought that he had that thing open, but he didn't. And he got out-hustled by a Weddington Warrior, and now we're in a transition.
Weddington leads it by a goal, 7-6. Just about 7.5 minutes left to go third quarter. Shipley. A goal and assist tonight. Helms.
So we've seen good momentum caused by Lake Norman's defense getting a transition and a turnover. Now can their defense again get a stop here and turn over to the offense, or is Weddington going to be able to work it around and get a good scoring opportunity?
Burns, who has a goal, sends it up. Shipley once again working. Tries to dodge by Elder.
You notice Shipley's drawing a double now. Before they were trying to cover him one-on-one, he was wreaking a little havoc.
And Helms gets by Doherty. Gets his first goal tonight.
Fisher's a little upset with that when he thought he was in the crease, but he did a nice inside roll dodge here. You'll see the pass down low, and he catches Doherty moving and gets him moving in one direction, then rolls underneath him, goes right up, and then shoots it right over Fish as he's outstretched and doesn't go in the crease.
So Helms with a couple of big points here, a goal and an assist. The lead once again, 2 goals for Weddington, 8-6 the score. Go ahead.
I talked earlier about on offense how you always want to have your weight beneath you and you want to be able to change direction. Well, what you want to do to the defense is get them leaning in one direction and then turn the other way and change direction when they're leaning one way. You know, that breaking the ankles, as the kids like to call it.
Robbie Moore. And Fasanaro. Wow, he's got a hat trick tonight. Almost had his 4th goal from distance.
Well, they're trying to find different ways to get him the ball. We've seen him operate from GLE or goal line extended on either side. We've seen him operate from X. Now he's up top. They're trying to find any way they can to get him with some space and the ball.
Helms so quick. Dagel. Now Fasanaro, way up top.
When you're locked on defense, the only way you can get space is to go further and further away from the goals. The defense tends to give you more room when you're further away.
Struggling through the double team. I don't know how he maintained possession of that ball. Actually losing it. The Wildcats have it now. Condren.
Fisher's made some good decisions getting that ball. He's not taken the greedy pass of trying to throw it all the way up, but he's taken that second level pass and been able to get Lake Norman into their offense relatively quickly.
Lecky finding Elder drawing some attention.
I would suspect that he's going to see a truckload of attention anytime he has the ball.
Elder works right. So Lake Norman will hold on. It looks like a couple of times, Ray, Lake Norman's had success or near success with that quick substitution. The midi coming onto the field, getting the ball immediately with a chance to operate.
You can get spacing out of the box. The box areas where substitutions are made, where players come on and off the field and shuffle quickly. If you're a good coach and your players know when and how, you can gain 10, 12, 15 yards just out of the substitution area, where you sub in and where you sub out of the box.
So poor clear, Lake Norman with a chance. Lecky. Wow, Blake Lecky gets his 2nd goal tonight.
He delayed there. Wasn't sure if he was going to go or not. You see him, he kind of gave him a little stutter step, and then he went to his right, and then he realized, hey, I've got a step, and then he cut back to his left to see going to his right here, and then he realizes, I've got it, and he puts himself in front of the defender, gets it to where the defender gets to see his back, and then he realizes he's facing the goalie, dumps it right over his head. Good job by Lucky. He's been impressive tonight.
A goal in the first half, a goal in the second, 18 on the season. The sophomore has Lake Norman within 1.
Last time Garcia had that face-off infraction, went too early. Let's see if he makes the adjustment here.
Litton is able to control.
So if you're Lake Norman, you kind of like where you are right now in the fact that it's a 1-goal game. You've got it where you're within striking distance. Now it's just a matter of making plays and executing. That should be where they can do much better than Weddington because they have experience at it.
Long clear.
I just got done complimenting Fish on taking that mid-level pass, and there, you want your goalie to be aggressive. You want to try to take that long pass, but that one there, not connecting. Good job by Shipley there, getting up on that ride, getting through everybody.
So Shipley bounces it out for Helms. He's been working from X. I think they're going to send Fasanaro now down behind the goal. So they switch it up offensively. And Burns, sneaking around, finds Fasanaro. He's going to try to post up on Doherty, pulls him way out, and they can work it around.
That's been the thing for Weddington is when they have Fasanaro down below, he gets a steady dose of Doherty, and he's been able to do things there but not get as free as they like him. So they want to move him away from Doherty and see if they can get a better matchup with somebody else. This is a standard overload play right here. You see 4 Weddington players up top. You've got 1 player right on the crease, and then you've got back X. So see, there's your lineup right there. So they're going to run right up, and as he pulls, everybody's going to rotate around. And they know where the spots are. And they're looking, and with a great stick work there of keeping his stick in the passing lane, draws it down.
Well, we've had almost nothing but praise for Shipley, the freshman. Berger doing a great job of taking that away as Shipley with some nifty moves, but can't complete the pass. Lake Norman now with some momentum in this game, trailed by 1. The score is 8-7, 2.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Baeza works it around.
Well, we've seen Brugger with his stick in the passing lane several times, knocking balls away. And that time they're picking it off clean and then getting it over to Fish and starting the break. That's all you can ask of a defenseman. Get as many of those turnovers as you can.
Great speed, Sawicki. On a dead run to his right, just runs right by his defender. And an on-target shot evens the game. It's 8-8.
Well, we've seen Zwicky do the same thing before. He likes being in that center right up on there. You see him dodge to his right. Now his hands are free and he knows it, and he pulls. And there you see he's running from right to left. He's shooting from left to right. So when you run from right to left, the goalie sways with you. When you shoot back the other way, he's already got his momentum going, and you have a better chance of it going in. If you're watching at home, it looks like, wow, he shot right where the goalie's stick is, but it's not because the goalie's moving from the left to the right as well.
Lake Norman, a 4-1 advantage here in the second half. Sawicki with 2 goals in the second half. Shipley finds Fasanaro left alone, and Fasanaro is too dangerous. 2 times he's been left alone. Both times he found the back of the net.
Yeah, he's got all the shots in his bag of tricks. I mean, I've seen some new ones out of him here. But this time here, I mean, you leave him wide open and it's him against Fish. There's no way you can do it. You see Garcia lose this face-off here. Litton picks it up and goes clean. Garcia is clearly beaten. And then somebody has to, Tucker Doherty has to come up. And then you see Fasanaro by himself. He fakes to his left, gets Fasanaro. We saw him do it earlier. Fish leap up high. This time he gets him to leap high and dumps underneath it.
Hunter Fasanaro, our star to watch for Weddington with 4 goals. 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. Garcia. Takeaway. Good work. Litton stays on the field. Now he'll run off for a substitute as Weddington continues the attack. Shipley sends it down behind the goal. That's Fasanero.
And he's got a short stick on him. So now he's going to go and pull everybody away, and he's going to keep that short stick on him. And Lake Norman's going to try to switch to get a long pull down there on him.
Robbie Moore back in the game for Weddington. He's got the ball here. Near side, there's Fasanero.
Now watch how quick Lake Norman is to double, because you've got a short stick on their best player. Let's see how quick they shoot somebody over there.
Trying to force it in, I think. Daniel trying to thread the needle, can't do it. Lake Norman with the takeaway.
Again, Garcia with the active stick in the passing lane, picks it off clean. Here's Fish looking for that second level pass.
Shima goes about as deep as he has tonight.
He gets saved by a timeout by Coach. I'll tell you his little, what is it, that watch the kids wear, the Fitbit?
That's right.
He's going to have a few miles on his Fitbit today. I bet he's hit his walking steps total already. Been a great job. Fish is a big guy. I've worked out with him. The kids work out at this local gym, and he's a real big dude. So you see him lifting weights. I mean, he's an incredible lifter. So he lifts like these racks with like I can't even dream of it. The pole actually bends when he lifts it. But you see him out there running, and he's rather agile. You see him out there when he moves, and he's quick to the ball. His first step is always true. So his positioning makes him a great goalie. His reflexes make him a great goalie. And his strength and power, nobody wants to get near him. But he's really been surprising me tonight with his passing accuracy. We've seen him make the one missed pass on a long one, but he's been able to connect on a couple long ones. And the midfield, that middle range up where near center line, just when you get it over the attack, but before the midfield, he's been extremely accurate, and that's been able to nullify Weddington's ride all night long.
Well, there's been a lot in the athletic culture here at Lake Norman to encourage that kind of dedication off the field, to try to build yourself and be ready for the wars, because competition is getting better and better and better. Lake Norman has won a state championship. They've been in the title game. They know what that's like, but they also know that teams around them are getting stronger and stronger. Right now, they're in a battle with Community School of Davidson, a new kid on the block, a school that is doing very well in all sports at the moment. And they've got a battle on Friday night, win or lose against Weddington for a conference title. So Lake Norman does not have the easier road that they've had in the past. They've got competition in their own conference. And of course, when we talk about Weddington, we've seen the play of Fasanero, who came in with the stats, to give us an indication of where he was going. But look at the play of some of these younger guys, these freshmen who have stepped up. James Shipley has been outstanding tonight for Weddington. Just 6 goals coming into the night, and he has a goal and an assist. And he's been outstanding. So we've seen a pretty high level of play as we come back out of timeout. Elder and Kaplis now for Lake Norman. Kaplis is going to fire it, and it's going to skip away across the track and into the woods. So it might be a moment before we get back to action.
Oh, they've got plenty. Well, one thing, the facility here, we're at Lake Norman, and the facility athletic director, all the people, the community have been very welcoming to us here, and they really support this program. But you have other programs. Mooresville High School has started a program now. So actually in their own town, there are 2 schools now, and they're doing relatively well. So Lake Norman's realized if they want to continue to win these state titles, they have to get better and better, and they have to build more and more depth. And part of that is a healthy workout program.
You haven't seen a lot of that. Ball truly up for grabs tonight as Warner runs it down. And it looks like we've come to the end of the third quarter. Lake Norman has fought back into the game. They tied it at the 2:11 mark, but Weddington has a 1-goal advantage as we take a break. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter from Lake Norman High School.
The Carolina Panthers are preparing for another great year. And Time Warner Cable Sports Channel continues our exclusive coverage of the team, even in the offseason. Stay tuned each Wednesday night as we go inside Panthers football. We'll have updates on the team leading up to training camp, preseason, and kickoff. That's each Wednesday, only on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, the cable television home of your Carolina Panthers. Tune in to Channel 323.
The biggest all-star event in sports just got bigger. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday night, May 21st. NASCAR's All-Stars leave it all on the track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Only one can take the title, and only one takes the $1 million. Plus, it all revs up with platinum-selling recording artist Andy Grammer. The biggest music at the biggest all-star event in all of sports. Don't miss it. For tickets and details, call 800-455-FANS.
We are
a team.
We are the playmakers.
The game changers.
We are the victors.
We are
The underdogs.
We are.
Your worst nightmare.
And that's why
We are
champions. We are high school sports.
Science and math are a blast with It Ain't Rocket Science, the program that brings you great reports about all things science, technology, engineering, and math from around the country. We'll take you to museums and robotics competitions. Meet influential people in science and technology. Parents and kids alike get introduced to some great opportunities, events, and careers. It Ain't Rocket Science. Find this program on your local on-demand channel in the Travel and Lifestyle section under Not Rocket Science.
Got great games in the archive from this season and last. Whether you missed it or want to see it again, TWCSportsChannel.com streams the best matchups at home or on the go. What you live for lives here. TWCSportsChannel.com, exclusively from Time Warner Cable. The Carolina Panthers are back on the clock at the 2016 draft.
The Carolina Panthers select Shaq Thompson.
We bring you a full week of draft coverage,
unprecedented 6-day coverage,
expert analysis, player profiles, inside the draft room. Draft coverage from every angle starts April 25th, here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.
Weddington leads at 9-8 from Lake Norman High School. It's been a very tense battle. We went into our halftime break with Weddington leading at 7-4. It was a big third quarter for Lake Norman. Can they keep the pressure on? Can they take the lead for the first time in the game? Because Weddington got a quick goal to start things off, and I can't say they never looked back. They're looking over their shoulder, but at the moment, they're holding Lake Norman off.
Well, in the third quarter, what was the key? Lake Norman made one passing error. Weddington made 3. So that gave Lake Norman a few more possessions. Lake Norman was able to be efficient on offense and put some goals. Let's see what happens in the fourth quarter. Who can execute, who can eliminate those mistakes, and who can get the goals?
Garcia with great hustle. Creates a 50-50 situation. Lake Norman now. And now you feel the intensity picking up. This is a whistle behind the play.
That's a nice little pair of contact right there. Definitely Mama's going to need some tide on this one. Watch it. He didn't even see him. He's kind of look his head, and then all of a sudden, boom, down goes Frazier. It was a clean check. You want to check between the shoulders and the hips. You don't want to lead with the head. He didn't do any of those things. So Lake Norman will end up with the ball.
So Condren taken down by Dashville. It's Lake Norman ball. Just a couple of ticks off the clock here. Final quarter.
So it's going to be a man-up situation for Lake Norman. This is a dream come true right here. You've got 30 seconds. You can work. You want to get a shot. You want to tie this game right now, and you want to put some really firm momentum in your corner before this fourth quarter even really gets underway.
Kaplis. Heredia to work it around.
You see that ball movement? We talked about ball movement. We talked about spacing. Lake Norman's doing a good job of both right now.
Shot taken by Asa. It's out of bounds, kept in by Lake Norman. Man up. And a loose ball. Heredia still struggling for it. Still loose. Now Lake Norman picks it up. Kaplis with the ground ball. Up top, Heredia lets it go. And great job by Sargraves. He's had a couple of easy saves, if there is such a thing as an easy save, Ray, and he's had a couple of very tough ones.
Yeah, as a goalie, as a coach, you want your goalie to make all, 90% of the saves they should make, and then make a few saves they ought not. And if you make, 9 out of 10 saves that you should, and you grab me a few extras, I'm going to be a happy coach. But Lake Norman's been able to move the ball around, and they've been able to find shooting lanes. What they haven't been able to do is to put the ball in the net.
Werder sends it up top.
There's another unforced
That's
error.
right, so it'll be Weddington ball.
That'll make Coach Brugger's blood pressure go up, 10 points or so. There's Shipley. Man, that guy's got more moves than Disco Inferno.
Attracted a lot of attention. Cox, near side. Room to run.
Shipley, it's all on the hips. He's able to move left and right because he keeps his hips firmly underneath him, straight up and down. His legs seem like they're going 1,000 miles an hour, kind of like Crazy Legs Hirsch, if you will, but he's able to keep his body straight up and down, and so his cuts are pure. Post.
A long shot. And Schemer makes the save.
That was a really good save there. Mostly because he had taken a shot and was out of position and then immediately had to adjust to get that one.
But is he able to make the catch?
He likes going left to right. Well, he took a hit there too. Everybody knows he likes going left to right apparently. Watch this. Beautiful shot, and there's Fish down there all right where he needs to be. Gets that ball.
9:35 to go. Norman looking for the equalizer. Great takeaway for Weddington. Great work by a defenseman to bring that one all the way down the field. And a chance here for Weddington. A great shot on.
I don't know if Shimer got that one or if it actually missed the net, but boy, they definitely had a grand opportunity there.
Weddington able to back it up.
Here you see he gets by that dive and then crosses it and then wide open. And I don't know if it just bounced over him or if he just got enough of it.
Tanner Cox's luck almost ran out on that one, but the luck continues for Alex Helms, his second goal of the night.
Right place, right time there. He came around from behind and got left wide open. See him come around, he's got his man beat, and then the roll under, and then that leaves Fish to get dunked on, basically. And there's not much you can do in that one-on-one situation. You get the defender rolling from his right to his left, and you slam on the brakes, he just flies right on by.
And the assist leader, he's got 16 assists now on a year unofficially. That's if I didn't miss one early in the first half because he's been very active. But he's also got 2 goals, his 15th of the season. And it's a 2-goal advantage once again for Weddington under 9 minutes to go. But a huge face-off, and as successful as Weddington has been this season, I think Lake Norman has had the advantage tonight.
There's been a lot of scraps on there, not too many clean wins. And in the scrap game, when you get 2 long sticks out there battling with 3 short sticks or 2 short sticks on a long pole, you have an advantage. Jake LaFuse out there, he's a very large individual. He's about 6'4", very lengthy, but very strong as well. And he's able to, get body position and leverage himself to help get these balls in Lake Norman offense.
Lake Norman resets the offense. Elder.
He's drawing a crowd in.
Yeah, he's been dangerous tonight. He's got a goal on the sheet. Dodges right and lets it go. Gets his second goal of the night, the sophomore. With 2 tonight, 12 on the year. And it's a 1-goal game once again. Ray, this is About as tight as it can be. We've got 8 minutes left to go, and right now it's a back and forth battle.
There you see he's got a long stick, and the long stick gets him in the wedge between the body and the stick, but he powers through it, loads up that shot, and just puts it right by the goalie. Once they get their hands free, there's not much you can do. And when you're going right to left, you shoot back to left like that. It goes in most of the time. Big face-off. Now each face-off's getting more and more valuable.
Garcia had a chance to win it clean. Lake Norman was able to control. Under 8 minutes to go. Trailing by a goal. So nice stick check. Lake Norman losing the ball to Weddington.
It's one of those things, when you need to reach, you like the long stick. When you need to hide, you wish you had a short stick.
Clock running. Weddington trying to be patient. Salaquit back on the field. They work it around.
Tucker Doherty, is that any relation to you, Paul?
No. That's a question I have been asked. As you know, his famous father, more my generation, and so I was asked that question a few times, but not that I know of.
Been to a couple of the meetings in town here, and Matt Doherty, former UNC coach, is always there to support his son in his program, and been a great supporter of his child playing, and Tucker's been a great asset to Lake Norman.
Well, Alex Helms almost got his third goal, almost notched a hat trick on that one once again. It seems like he's not just elusive, but he's got a real nose for the goal, and almost put another goal on the board. Great hustle, Doherty fighting for it.
Yeah, and he was able to outfight Fasanaro for that ball.
Lake Norman now can bring it down with some tempo. Sawicki's got a couple of goals here in the second half. Shot on. You saw the dust kick up as Lecky went for his third goal, but shot it wide.
The crowd doesn't like that call by the official when we were doing that race for the end line that you see, and they thought that Lake Norman had won that one. But an unforced error is going to give it right back.
And look at the pass.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the catch and the shot. Brandon Garcia has been outstanding tonight.
Lecky was in, so they came on an out of bounds play. Quick start. Garcia's got it. He sees Lecky in the middle, and here you see Lecky's actually on his knees when he catches this ball. He had already fallen, and he shoots from the ground right through 5-hole. Beautiful.
I got to see that number. I think it's 31. It's Cody. So Cody. I said it wrong. You said it wrong, but let's fix it. It's Cody with that incredible catch and shot.
Wow, he was trying to, he saw he was open in space and was trying to cut towards Garcia to help Garcia see him. Garcia did see him and released, but he had tripped and fallen, so he was actually on his knees already when the pass was released and caught it on his knees and then was able to pull a Fasanaro and get a nice little angle.
So Cody with the equalizer. His first goal tonight, just his 6th goal of the year.
Well, if you're asking Lake Norman, that's the one the one they want right there.
Just over 6 minutes left to go. This game is tied at 10. Lake Norman has never led.
Now, with all the passing errors that we've seen, Lake Norman is forcing Weddington to do these longer passes. They're leaving the opposite side of the field. Watch this here. You see he's already on his knees when he catches this. He was falling and then just kind of gets to one knee and just scoops it right in there. Got to do that fist pump. Wow, that was an incredible goal.
So timeout on the field with the score tied at 10.
They're all dabbing in the crowd there. Little Cam Newton dab.
Well, Ray, we talked about how important this game is, and I feel like you can feel that intensity picking up.
Look at that. So you see he was already falling and just kind of threw a stick up at it and was able to catch it. Sorry, Paul, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's just too cool.
No, I think we're just starting to see the individual performances really ratchet up.
Why is every time we do a game,
It's
it always
tight.
comes down to where we're saying, okay, this whole first 3 quarters was a waste. We're just gonna go down in the last 5:49 now. Whoever plays hardest for the, and then if it's true to form, we'll be saying the same thing at 4 minutes and 3 minutes. It just kind of keeps the ratchet up. It's a great game to watch, the game in general. But the games that we do, we've had awesome crowds getting into it.
Well, I think we asked the question at the top, would this game show us something about the progress of these two teams and where they're headed? And it seems to me we've seen some sloppy play at times, but we've seen some great play as well, and a great effort end to end. There's really been no letdown in this game.
Well, we've seen some great creativity from Fasanaro. I've really been impressed with that kid. We've seen some great speed and cutting from Helms. We've seen Shipley able to bring the ball up the field and not only dodge to goal, but dodge to open space and help Weddington out on their clears. We've seen Fish be able to get some nice passes to help Lake Norman. We've seen Lake Norman able to create some offense in Elder. Now let's see who's going to execute this last 5:49. Who do you turn to?
Well, Weddington has the ball. Chance to set up offensively. Again, they have never trailed. Score's been tied twice. And that one, it's going to sneak by the goalkeeper, and that is another goal for Helms, I believe.
Wow, he just, he went through 4 or 5 good, solid stick checks here. You see as he brings it up, you watch here, they trap him, there's one stick check, there's another one. Right there's another stick check. And then he realizes nobody's there, dodges to goal, and dumps it. I mean, if you're Fish, there's nothing you can do there. Somebody that close in. But he went through quite a few stick checks, solid ones, and earned that goal.
Well, Fasanaro with 4 goals started getting a lot of pressure. You saw them flip-flop and give Helms some opportunities from behind the goal from X. He took advantage of those. He now has a hat trick. You see his ability to run the field and to score in transition. 3 goals in the second half for Weddington. Once again, it's a 1-goal advantage for the Warriors. But once again, Lake Norman is able to control a contested face-off. Werner. Condren gets it back up top for Warner, and Lake Norman can calm things down. Plenty of time.
Yeah, it's a 1-goal game. You get 5 minutes, plenty of time. And now if you're Lake Norman, you want to work, find that matchup that you like, find some space and give it a whirl.
And Sawicki notches his 3rd goal of the second half, matching Alex Helms, and it's tied once again at 11.
Well. It's 4 minutes. We said we'd be now, Sawicki, let me guess, going left to right, finding that open space, releasing the shot.
And we also said they could afford to be patient, but it's better to score than to be patient if you can tie it up.
A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, or whatever it is. I don't know the old saying. I'm old, but I should know that saying, but I don't.
Great hustle. Back-to-back takeaways. Weddington fighting to control.
And this is where you can get penalties if you're not careful too, because your body wants to do it, your head wants to do it, but you're one step tired, you're one step slower, and so you tend to reach a little more and try to get out of position a little more, and you overdo it. Let's see if they can avoid doing that.
Don's right, Zalquit lets it go. That one's wide. Weddington will run it out. 4:18 to go. Great dodge. Shot on, and it's good. Weddington with another huge goal.
Mr. Shipley starts. They brought him down. They've tried to get him up top, and they've had success. So Lake Norman adjusted by sending quick doubles. So they brought him back X by himself, and that time he just kept working left, working right, working left, working right, until finally, here he goes, left, right, and then, oh, I've got my spin move, and my hands are free, bang.
Well, Shipley got the first goal of the game. He's got the latest goal in the game. Can't call it the last goal because the way these two teams have been scoring of late. Under 4 minutes to go. A 1-goal advantage for Weddington. Another battle. The face-off. X and Lake Norman once again with good hustle. Can they control it? Garcia battling.
Got a hold, it's going to go to Lake Norman. Good work by Garcia. He won that one clean. And then once he realized it was loose, he set his body in front and boxed out everybody until he finally got pushed or held from behind and gives Lake Norman the ball. Now they'll swap out and get all the offensive goodies they want out of their Coach Berger's goodie bag.
And Sawicki loses the handle. It's poked away. Weddington with the ball. 3:35. Clock running.
So if you're Weddington, you want time. You want to hold time. You want time to click. If you're Lake Norman, you want that turnover.
Fasanaro with 4 goals. Ground ball. Pick up. Lake Norman. Look at the burst of speed. Sawicki finds Werner, and Werner loses it. Ground ball pickup for Weddington. And a long pass to clear it. Burns battles, but Lake Norman does a better job fighting for the ball. Great job by Lefevre. But it's still Weddington ball with 2:46 to go.
Lots of time left here.
Helms draws the double team.
When you score 3 goals, you tend to draw a lot of attention. Here you see the overload again. You've got Helms by himself down there. He's the only one on your screen on the right. And then you see everybody else up top. That eliminates Lake Norman's ability to have someone close by to help.
They swing it around. So can Weddington really hold for the last shot here, Ray? I mean, will Lake Norman go out there and challenge?
Well, they have to. I mean, at some point, they have to have the ball back. Right now, it's not so much of your 2 minutes is plenty of time, but when it gets down to a minute, 30 seconds, that's when you really have to push for that turnover.
Weddington leads by 1. Burns has a goal. Finds an open man and a shot on. And Dinwiddie, rather, who had a goal in the first half, has that one stopped by Schiemer. About a minute 20 left to go.
Schiemer didn't stand up to throw that ball. They tried to release it quickly. And it could have cost Lake Norman, but their ground ball play, they got it back. So a minute left is plenty of time. Calm down. See what we need to do here.
Lake Norman trails by a goal. Shot on, gets by the keeper. Werner! Ryan Werner gets his first goal tonight, his 8th of the season. This game is tied once again.
That's a good being in the right place at the right time. So you get one shot, but it goes right by the goal and goes right to Werner. Here you see the shot, and it goes right to Werner. So dumb luck, bounces right up into his stick, and then there's nobody there, and he goes right through the goalie. Nothing the goalie can do there. Great job. See, it's determined. This was going to be a close game, so.
That's the way we like it.
You know, we could have a sudden victory game here. We got the 4-minute overtime. They just keep on playing until somebody scores a goal.
We've seen that too.
We've been there for them all.
A 12-12 game. The face-off could determine this one.
Oh, it's going to go a long way towards it. You want the ball. You got to have the ball to score.
Litton gets the job done. And a timeout call. So Weddington will call timeout with this game tied. Just about 48 seconds left to go. We'll keep a close eye on the clock because every second will count.
So let's turn it back to you and see your analysis. So you've seen Helms. Here you go. There's that great catch. That's like a.
We just like to see that.
That should be a Sports Center top 10
That's right
there, baby. That was impressive. There's Helms going through everybody. So who do you go with, Paul? You want to see Helms with a little action? You want to see Fasanaro? If you're Weddington with your bag of goodies, your Coach Gunderson over there, who do you run out of your bag of goodies?
I don't know. The way this game has gone, Ray, I wonder if you can go to a go-to guy. I think it's going to be all about opportunism because, we've seen, obviously, Helms step up. Obviously, he came in tonight with 13 goals. It's not like he has been shut out this season, but he's really their leading assist guy. Fasanaro came in here with 34 goals, as an example. So you might expect to just give it to him and let him take the last shot, so to speak. But the way that Shipley has played, Burns has been opportunistic. He's got a goal. Dinwiddie had one in the first half. I mean, there's been a lot of scoring for Weddington. Obviously, they're going to have the ball. They're going to have time to work. What do you think, Ray?
Well, it's usually never the first guy to touch the ball.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to say if it's me and I'm coaching, I'm putting the ball in Shipley's stick. He's shown that he can get to some space for me. He's shown that he can draw that double team, and he's shown he knows where to get through the ball. I'm going to run a play where on the backside, Fasanaro's there. So I'm going to put it where Shipley and Fasanaro are out in an island together, and when Fasanaro's man goes to help, Shipley will deliver it to him, and Fasanaro's going to give it a kill shot.
Now let's see if they play it the way Coach Ray draws it up. It's a tie game, 12-12 the score. Obviously, we could be going to extra innings, so to speak, but the way this game has gone, Ray, I don't know. I think it could be decided, and we might be surprised the way it ends.
Well, all I know is I'm on my second gear right up here in the booth, so I know it's been a busy one. There's Helms.
So whistle stops the action.
Some stoppage of play, and somebody in the crowd yelled double dribble, which is relatively funny.
So just over 40 seconds left to go.
Apparently something with the clock. They're going to restart the whole thing.
I see. All right.
So back to Mr. Helms again. Got LeFew on him, long pole.
Helms with a hat trick tonight.
And you've got Doherty and Fasanaro.
25 seconds to go. Star on star, Fasanaro with an inside lane. Doherty with the takeaway. He'll try to spark it with 15 seconds left to go. He's got an assist tonight. Werner has a goal. Inside, look, and guess who? It's Blake Leckie.
Right place, right time. But again, one of the stars to watch, Tucker Doherty, right? Picks up the loose ball down on one end, outruns everybody up the field. I mean, Jets on that kid goes. You see here, nobody can catch him. He's got that thing down, and he realized, I got to get this somebody with a short stick. Boom. And then you see the one look, and Leckie's coming across from his right to his left this time, has a stick in the left, and deletes it, and puts that thing exactly where it needs to be.
Lake Norman has not led since the second minute of the game. Blake Leckie gets a hat-trick goal. The sophomore puts Lake Norman up. Tucker Doherty, you called it. You know, there were a lot of guys we could have picked for a star to watch for Lake Norman. He's had an outstanding game. He's had his hands full with some big offensive weapons working against him, but a great run this time. If you could call that a second assist.
Well, that's great discipline right there, okay? Because when you've ran all that way and you've got the ball on your stick, your first instinct is you hear the Chariots of Fire music. You want to put that ball in the net and you want to do it. But he realized all I need to do is get this to one of my teammates, and he did the right thing. Smart play right there. Found the open space, and then of course the pass from Warner right on the money, and Leckie with a left-hand shot drills it. Now this game isn't over. We've got a face-off, and we've got 9 seconds to go. That's plenty of time to get a ground ball and head up the field.
Yeah, according to the scoreboard, just a tick under 9 seconds. What a job by Leckie tonight. The sophomore with 19 goals now on the year, picking up 3 tonight.
Lake Norman not changing anything on the face-off. They've got LeFew out there with the long pole, more towards the defensive end of the hash. See him over there on the right-hand side. They put him over there just in case Garcia gets beat, so he can be over there to help. And then you see the other guy for Lake Norman on the other side as well. They're both defensive-minded. They're going to be out there and try to cut it off in case Litton wins it clean.
To get the equalizer, Weddington pretty much needs a clean pickup here on the face-off. And to work quickly, they've got the weapons to do it if they can win the face-off. Litton has it chopped away. And a ground ball pickup for Lake Norman. Time is running out, and the Wildcats have won it in front of a home crowd that has been wondering if Lake Norman could get beyond that equalizer. They tied it 1, 2, 3, 4 times tonight, and they win it with a hat-trick goal from Blake Leckie with just 9 seconds left to go.
Well, it came down to what we were talking about at the beginning. There was a few mistakes we saw from both teams. They weren't trading punches, they were trading mistakes in the first half. In the second half, they started to change punches. And Lake Norman kept punching and punching and punching, and finally, they punched their way through.
We'll take a quick timeout and come back with our final thoughts. Congratulations to the Lake Norman Wildcats, improving to 8-6, knocking off the Weddington Warriors. A final score of 13-12.
Oh, I hope we have a buyer for the house.
Me too.
What are the neighbors doing here?
Bill! Hey! I didn't know your home Wi-Fi could stream so many devices at the same time.
Dad, it's Time Warner Cable. 300 megs, crazy fast.
Dad, you can get Wi-Fi all over this place.
Cool.
Make your home as connected as possible. Get 50 meg internet with unlimited data for $39.99 per month. And ask about free installation. Call 1-844-435-8154.
Family dental care is often overlooked, but there's no need to fear the dentist at Modern Family Dental Care. The team at Modern Family Dental Care can provide affordable, gentle, quality care for you and your family with flexible payment options and no credit check financing. We can help you take care of your teeth and bring back your healthy smile with state-of-the-art care. Don't put off dental visits. Let Modern Family Dental Care put a smile in your family's face. Healthy smiles, healthy family, healthy life. Modern Family Dental Care.
When it comes to weather, you can find everything you need in the palm of your hand using the Time Warner Cable News app. Just log in using your TWC ID and you'll have full access. Scroll on the weather wheel for hour-by-hour conditions and use our interactive radar for detailed street-level views. Wherever and whenever you need it. The Time Warner Cable News app, available for iPhone and Android.
There is only one place in the world where 40,000 horses come to run. C-Max Dragway. The NHRA 4-Wide Nationals. Only one chance to see it. Only at C-Max Dragway.
5 hat tricks tonight. Hunter Fasanaro, our starter watch for Weddington, had 4 goals. Shipley had a hat trick tonight, and Helms for Weddington, outstanding. Great job by Jake Sawicki to really start things for Lake Norman in the second half. He got 3 goals in the second half, but it was Blake Leckie, the sophomore. We almost gave him that acrobatic goal that it was actually Cody's goal to score, but Leckie laughs last with that phenomenal final goal to put Lake Norman up for good. And Lake Norman wins it 13-12.
Well, and the face-off unit for Lake Norman was able to generate some opportunities and get a lot of possessions, and Fisher had a good game for them in goal. There's that incredible play right there. But Fisher also played well in goal in the clear game for Lake Norman. I think they had an advantage there. The Weddington offense was just, Helms, for example, was unstoppable in some ways. They were able to get by clean on first dodges. Fasanaro has that excellent creativity that we've seen and admired. And Sargraves played well in goal for them as well.
a close game like this, you can't really say one team failed, but I think that Lake Norman executed when it mattered most. They got better as the game went along. And I think that for Weddington, they started out strong, but they kind of plateaued, and I think Lake Norman was able to overcome them.
Well, for Weddington fans, I got to take one of those goals away from Shipley. It was an outstanding assist, but so 2 goals and a great assist for Shipley. The freshman, Weddington really showing what has gotten them to this point, but they do drop to 9-1 in this loss to Lake Norman. They play tomorrow night against a conference team in Robinson High School. Lake Norman waits until Friday night to take on Community School of Davidson. Well, for Ray St. Peter, this is Paul Doherty, hoping you've enjoyed it. Congratulations once again to Lake Norman. They've won it 13-12. We'll see you next time here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.
The Carolina